Hello, hello, hello. My name is Pandy Pridemore. So let me ask you, what if you knew what your candidates were looking for before you even spoke to them? Or what if you could figure out what the workforce wanted without even asking them? Well, my guest today is the co-founder of Nichefire here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Khalil El-Amin. And I am so excited because this is new technology. I had no idea this even existed. He had a display at a major presentation here recently in Cincinnati, and I walked up and said, "So, sir, do you mind telling me what you do?" And he gave me a spiel that I said, "Okay, you're coming with me." More people need to know about what you do. And, you know, we know technology is changing at the speed of light. It just is. But when we've got people like you whose mind is working in a way that our viewers need to hear about this.
Absolutely.
Now, you call it, and I printed this off your website.
No worries.
You call this human intelligence, powered by artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
HI, did you coin that phrase?
I don't think so, but yeah, sure.
It'll work for today.
For today, we coined that. No, that was something one of our advisors. As a startup, you get a lot of people helping you out and helping you out with all types of things, language, or figuring out the easiest ways to kind of explain these complex technologies that you come up with. And that was something that we laid our hat on as far as using empowering human intelligence with artificial intelligence.
Well, and our viewers should be interested in this because there's a lot of legislation right now talking about the disadvantages of AI
Correct.
in the employment process. So why don't you break it down as to what your product does and how you even got to this point?
Well, absolutely. And first of all, thank you for having me on the show today, Pandy. We always get excited for the opportunity to talk about our technology as we are a small company and trying to get the word out about things. So thank you for having us. But Nichefire is a social intelligence technology. And what we do is we activate billions of the interactions online to help companies address their most pertinent business questions. So one of the use cases that you and I talked about was an HR use case. And where we helped a couple different companies actually identify the best practices to recruit and attract the top talent in their area. So what's going on across the entire United States is, a great resignation, right?
Nobody wants to say it.
I know, right? And what that... At very high level, what it means is that you have these very prestigious, very big companies coming in towns all over the place with the needs to have, a developer or a data scientist or, a really high level position. But what's starting to happen across the United States is that a lot of the traditional businesses now need that talent as well. And what they're up against is the bigger companies or the more sexier companies, if you will, taking that talent, getting them right out of college, sometimes in some situations, actually activating those people right out of high school in certain ways. So they're kind of behind the ball on attracting the top talent and keeping the top talent in their pool of prospective new employees. So what we were able to do was identify some of the best practices that some of the competitors in a space are using by analyzing the social commentaries of those brands and then the users that are interacting with those brands to develop strategies so that those content teams, those marketing teams can put out the proper message to attract those prospective employees.
See, I think this is fascinating because you're saying that there's a partnership within organizations between the marketing team and the brand, the voice, the culture, and HR.
Absolutely.
How interesting. Something that may be underutilized?
I think so. And I think it could be something that is becoming more common now.
Okay.
With social media and how quickly you can get marketing content out there, a lot of organizations are marrying the marketing department to every aspect of the company, so they can tell that story. And I think especially for HR, when you're recruiting and you're trying to attract that top talent, it would make sense to go out with a plan that marketing has already been able to see or understand, like, hey, if you do it this way, this might work, or this is what this type of employee is actually looking for. And
you said you've already taken care of a client with this. Tell me that story.
Yeah. So this particular client is in a very competitive area in the United States where they're up against some of the likes of like Microsoft and some other really big companies that gobble up this talent and have the resources to really go get anyone from anywhere. And they want to be competitive and they want the best people to work for them. They're a small financial institution and they want the top talent to come in because they're starting to become more tech forward. So when you change your organization to want to do some of those things, you have to hire the right people. You got to have data scientists. You have to have engineers. You have to have positions that are sometimes not common in that industry vertical. So we were able to develop a strategy where not only did we look regionally or locally in their market as far as competitors, other financial institutions, we were also able to look at some of the talent competitors. And what I mean by that is that the Microsofts, the Googles in town, the IBMs, these other tech giants that are actually able to get those people and analyze the messages from those brands. And then not only analyze the messages that were out, but the intent behind those messages, what they want them to do, or what we perceive that they're trying to do with that message. And then we analyze the user-generated content, which is anyone responding, conversations happening within those posts and things of that nature. And then we take it a step further to analyze review sites and places like Glassdoor to see, what people are saying about these positions, what they like the most and what they want to see. And we were able to kind of find out, like, one of the main things that people want now is like a flexible environment. With the pandemic, everyone was able to go back, kind of work from home. And I can't really remember how long we were in the house because obviously I have amnesia like half the United States when it comes to it. But being able to work from home became a big thing for everyone in the United States, I would think. Yes. We were able to get comfortable. We were able to be more efficient. And some of that stuff stuck with the employees. So everyone going back to work are looking for these positions. They want to be able to have maybe not a full week of work from home, but it might be a couple days a week they can work from home, or just the flexibility to do it if they want. So that was something that we were able to discover across the board when we analyzed those competitors and some of those other places. And then we also seen, growth and compensation. That's growth and compensation.
That's been incredible.
It's a given. But I think the growth side of it was the most revealing thing that we seen is like, hey, people are willing to work hard for, the salary that you provide them, but they want to feel that that's not it. They want to feel that at some point you can reach a milestone where you can get more, do more, and be a bigger part of the organization. So we had tons of verbatims from prospective employees and people that actually are working at some of these places and things they said, which was able to really help our customer be able to kind of develop the right type of social media campaigns and stuff like that off of that. And then one of the last things that we saw was people, environment, and culture. People are a little bit more forward thinking these days. Everyone wants to see people that are different from them at work. So a lot of information and insights around diversity and inclusion and culture, sustainability, things like that your potential employees want those things. Those are things that your brand should be able to represent, and people should easily be able to find what you're all about when it comes to some of those things. So, the project we did ended up being about a 3 or 4 month sprint for us, where we just kind of gathered up the information and developed the reports and the strategies and passed them along. But once we kind of finished it out amongst ourselves, because I have 3 other co-founders, we were just kind of talking about it like, hey, I think that this could be something that everyone could use, because it's about to change. The market, the job market's getting ready to change. What people want is getting ready to change. And I feel like people will want this information. So
it already has.
Yeah.
It already has. And I was so impressed when you said you went out, not only regional and local, but you went out and looked at the big companies on the West Coast. And hey, remote workers.
Yeah.
Remote workers. What we were dealing with, or what we thought was normal 3 and 4 years ago within human resources, is gone. And your technology and your thought process and all of this is so cutting edge. Is that a typical time period for a project with a client?
Absolutely. So we typically start off with a 4-month engagement for a customer to just kind of get used to working with us. We really operate as almost like a managed service right now. The technology isn't all the way developed, so there is some hand-holding that we like to do with our customers right now. So it's a more consultative / technology type of engagement. So yeah, usually it's about a 4-month project. And then we, opt to that customer to, either put us on another project, or they can, they can utilize us for the entire year, entire 2 years, however long they want. We're just super flexible, easy to work with, just trying to hustle and get our stuff out there.
Well, that's what I absolutely loved in talking to you, because there were so many people in that room, and yet you were talking to me. You gave me the eye contact, and you were engaged with me, and I could see the passion of how much you...
I was sweating.
You love what you do.
I do.
You love what you do.
I really do. And like I said, any opportunity that we get to actually talk about the technology, I want to do, and I want to kind of stand up for this, the good side of AI. You get a lot of crazy, assumptions, or, Terminator type of assumptions when it comes to AI and how it's going to take over the world.
Yes.
But, the truth of it is that you really need a human to really get the most out of it. So that's why we coined the term, HI, human intelligence powered by artificial intelligence.
Well, and this is not making the hiring decision. This is not telling them yes or no. This is saying you need to understand who your potential workforce is and what your current workforce is looking for. Because the individuals that are out there in the business world that are my contemporaries, or maybe even a little younger, they don't want to hear this. They aren't looking for it. They're being forced to deal with it. They're having to open up and look at all the options and the different ideas, because it's here. It's going to stay.
Right. And I mean, just imagine just kind of making that decision for your company without really any insight on how to attract that person, and people are seeing your marketing slick or ad in the newspaper or LinkedIn description or however you're putting it out there, and they're like, oh, this sounds terrible, or this isn't
old-fashioned.
Exactly. And not being able to connect with that person enough for them to get interested enough to apply. Right. So you miss opportunities by just kind of throwing whatever out there and seeing what sticks, when you can just be more targeted and have a better plan on how you're doing it first.
Yeah. And again, you will take any client anywhere in the country.
Anywhere.
And anywhere in the country. Now, I told you before you got here that I was going to throw a little twist on you.
Okay.
Because we always have a segment in here about what were they thinking. And you know better than anybody how much the mindset of the employee has changed right now.
Exactly.
Right. But did you know that according to an article by Katie Navarra from March of this year, 2022, The bathroom has become the new office.
Okay.
I'm serious. It's in writing. It's not the water.
Not the water cooler.
There's water involved, but not.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. You can read this thing. According to this, 73% of the respondents reported working from the bathroom. Now, 1,255 people were interviewed. Mm-hmm. That's over 1,000 people were interviewed, and 75% of them are working in there. And you know the worst. I'm a visual person. So did you go there?
Yeah.
Do you? I have some of them laying in the bathtub.
Where are you going to sit?
Yeah, I've got some of them laying in the bathtub.
That's the couch.
That's the couch, exactly. And some of them in the article. You guys need to look this up. In the article, they're putting the computer on the sink.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you know. You got to think, and for all the hard workers out there, right? People that don't miss a day at work, right? Being told that you can't come back to work, and now you got to go to work, and your rugrats are TikToking and out of school, whatever was going on with that, and in the bathroom is the only place where you can get your peace. Somebody probably closed $1 million deal off the toilet. I'm pretty sure.
Let me tell you, I would have gone to the closet before I would have gone to the bathroom.
Yeah, man.
And I was talking to somebody about this, and they said, "Oh my gosh, I wonder if there's going to be a new desk. You know how they have the standing desks that for I wonder if they're going to do that for the bathroom sink.
Oh my God!
So you can stare at yourself in the mirror, the bathroom mirror."
Hey, be careful. You might see an ad for one on your Facebook after we, just by saying it.
Oh, God. See, you never know what you're going to hear on the human resource. You don't. But the important thing is, I'm going to try to bring you solutions. Khalil, thank you so much for coming on the show. His company is Niche Fire. They're located in Cincinnati, but they'll work anywhere you are.
Anywhere.
Give him a call, Google him, or contact the station. They'll be more than happy to give you his contact information. My name's Pandy. Thanks for listening and watching. Hope to see you again.